Hey, what it is, my tangerines? So I have to re-record this part. Um, I don't know. The file's recorded fuzzily. So, and I think I may have accidentally deleted a second one. I don't remember. Despite the beautiful weather, the atmosphere is stifling. The entrance, usually occupied by students before class, is desolate. Curious, I head to the courtyard. It's almost just as empty, only a handful of students are scattered across the corners, whispering frantically beneath their breaths. I notice a solemn Yahiko on a nearby bench, speaking with an equally solemn boy. It's such an unusual sight that I creep closer, trying to get a hint of their conversation. You take it so hard. How's he been? Hanging in there, I guess. He said that he wasn't coming today. Why not? Didn't say. He's been spending a lot of time in his dorm, though. He won't respond to me. And he just talked with Ari. Ari, why would that matter? Come to think of it, Ari's always been surrounded by rumors. Even before, people accused her of being the source for disappearances. If I remember correctly, it wasn't that she caused the disappearances herself. Rather, she supposedly admitted this aura of bad luck that indirectly led to their misfortunes. Shit. Pointed fingers is usually unnecessary, but this is getting weird. She talks to Midori, and Midori freaks out, then disappears. Then it's Toma, who freaks out, and also disappears. Even Akane. And Shoji too? Yesterday, she came up to him at lunch. He won't even tell me what they talked about. She probably just asked for food. That's what she does, she's adorable. But he's also acting differently. For now, just keep trying to talk with him. Whatever you do, don't leave him alone. Why is that one window, dark? You know the one. I'm not gonna point it out. Right, see you after class. Shit, I forgot his voice already. Yeah, you hang in there too, okay? As always. Boy strides away. Yahiko slumps on the bench, dropping his hand over his eyes. So out of character, I have to pinch myself to make sure I'm not dreaming. When I decide I'm fully awake and that serious Yahiko is an actual thing, I approach the bench. Hey. Yahiko immediately bolts upright, all signs of tension melting from his face as he dons his characteristic smile. Why, hello, my good minion. What brings you to this place? That's suspicious. Still, I prefer he not know that I was just eavesdropping on him, so I play along. Do you know why the school's so quiet? Do I know why the sky is blue? Do you? Do I? Seems back to normal. This is what his normal state even is. Oh right, I remember. Apparently, police dug up some body in the woods or something. Caused a big uproar. Why? Well, it was one of the disappearing students. You remember her. Akane Tsukino? That name definitely sounds familiar, not just from the investigation. Her boyfriend's a wreck, the poor sap. Boyfriend? Akane, disappearance, boyfriend, was worried sick. She must be the girlfriend of the guy who I fought with the other day. Right, they were blaming Ari for her disappearance and I stepped in. And right in her boyfriend's face, I told him he'd get over Akane's death in a week. He'd get over Akane in a week or two. To be fair, we didn't know she was dead at the time. I did. He didn't. Her body was found? Well, what was left of it. What was left of it? Hold on, something's beginning to make sense. police officer. Officer Katsu, was it? She said that I was on a crime scene. In that case... when was her body found? Don't tell me. Yesterday. Yesterday, or so the rumors go. Yesterday morning? Yeah, how'd you know? An immense wave of guilt washes over me. Akane Tsukino, dead. I vaguely remember the harsh words I spewed at her boyfriend. Soichi, was it? No, Shoji. How could he be feeling now? He'll get over her in a week or two. I said that when I thought he was clingy and irrational and blaming Ari. But now she's dead. Brutally murdered in the depths of the Izumu forest without a single soul to mourn her passing. On the bright side, if there is one, I now understand far more than I used to. Why Officer Katsu was at the forest, why he claimed it was a crime scene, why Shigeri asked me to go look. Because a body had been found, an actual body. Hey, you alright, dude? Looks like Yahiko noticed my silence. I can only continue my line of inquiry, at the very least. Maybe I can somehow help the investigation. Even without Shigeri. Big dumb face. Shoji's the name of her boyfriend, right? Yeah, how did you... Do you know him? Yeah. How? Ding! The most inconvenient moment. The warning bell tolls. Yahiko immediately grins. Whoops, guess that's the bell. I mustn't have my perfect reputation tainted with rumors of tardiness. Strides to our classroom, beckoning me to follow. Even stranger. Chomping up that Deus Ex Machina. Not really, just saved by the bell more like. I apprehensively walk alongside him, wondering just how much I actually know about Yahiko Ikari. I used to believe that I knew everything about him. He seemed simple at a first glance, as readable as my books from 3rd grade. I still remember how he looked, somehow pulling 3 bulky suitcases through the door with his skinny arms. He was smiling then too, in fact. I rarely saw him without a smile. Ow. Nope. Hello, roomie. I had already unpacked and was currently lying in my bed, reading some novel or another on my phone, trying to pass the time. I didn't even look up to issue my greeting. Yo. Name's Yahiko Ikari. From today and onward, I am your new overlord. This caught my attention. I hastily glanced out. The first thing I noticed was his hair. It was bright yellow for one thing. It made it pretty noticeable. It was also cut around his face in swaying layers like he was some kind of idol. Next thing I noticed were his shoes. Most of the kids in the academy had nice shoes, of course, but his were on a different scale and nice. They were loafers, brown like usual, but they were also etched with an unusual designs that glowed with the sheen of some expensive material. Later, I found out they were custom made from Italy. Not that I needed to know that to make my judgment. Returned to my book board. Womanizer, rich kid, arrogant, neat freak. At the very least, his type wouldn't be a terrible roommate. As long as I didn't have to talk to him. When I think about it now, it really shouldn't come as a surprise that his parents are higher ups at Lemnis Gate. His grades are nowhere good enough to get a scholarship. And he waltzes into this expensive, prestigious school wearing Italian loafers and probably scarves from Sweden. Are Swedish scarves a thing? Not to mention that, as ignorant as he might be in anything of value, he's always up to date on the latest pop culture and technological releases. Hey, pay attention to me. What does that mean? So, you're paying attention? Uh-huh. Expected him to explode in a fit of angry entitlement. Do you know who I am? Do you know who my father is? Do you know what I can do to you? But he did something completely unexpected. He dropped his luggage and immediately raced to my side, his eyes shining. Are you speaking another language? I've always wanted a multilingual minion. This is perfect. I amended my first impressions from arrogant to crazy. Regardless, this was a pretty good opportunity to have some fun. Can you, write all that down? You can't write? Does that mean yes or no? So, wait, what? The bewilderment on my face was so genuine that I couldn't help but laugh. Of all the people I had met, this guy had to be the most gullible. My name's Yama. Oh, I understood that. Really? Yes. Well, it's only to be expected. Someone as amazing as me can pick up languages in a snap. I see. Can you understand this? Yeah. What about this? Yeah. And this? I understand it. I understand it all. Wow, that's amazing. You know all 20 dialects of my language. He beams with pride. Of course I do. I'm an Akari. I see. So, what planet are you from? Planet? That's a sudden jump. Jupiter. Really? I didn't know people lived on Jupiter. Not people. Jazarites. I paused for dramatic effect before reeling off anything that came to mind in that moment. We're invincible from physical impact. We're humanoid, but our blood's blue. We abhor earth and insects, but have a strong affinity towards their animals. Wait, let me take notes on this. I need to know how to best utilize a Jarzite minion. He eagerly dug through his luggage, tossing clothes, cosmetics, and lemniscate tech here and there in the midst of his frantic search. I shook my head in disbelief. Did he actually believe I was from another planet? Okay, I'm ready. Hit me with it. Write down the following phrase. Yeah? This is a joke. This is... funny. In our world, that means you're just messing around. Was he serious? That's what this is. A joke. I'm from Earth. No, silly, you're a Jarzite. I was joking. I'm not a Jarzite. I'm an actual human. What? Yes, he was serious. He was actually serious. Why did you tell me you were a Jarzite? This guy would pretty much believe anything, wouldn't he? Tired of providing explanations, simply returned to my book. But Yahiko almost hit it out of my hand. What about your name? Was that a lie too? What? Your name, Yama? If you really want to check, our names are on the door. His face immediately turned blank. I sighed. You didn't see it when you came in? There's two nameplates. Yahiko and Yama. Well, my good minion, never fear. I hold nothing against you for concealing such vile information from me. What? I didn't conceal any. Now, if you may grant me silence, I must unpack. I sighed again and returned to my book, signing to bear with this obnoxious roommate for the entire year. My opinion of him hasn't changed much since then. He's still egotistical, oblivious, and mildly insane. But he always means well, even in the oddest of ways. Despite my frequent criticism of him, stupid actions actually cheered me up. Now that he seems to be struggling with something, I want to repay the favor. Strangely enough, Yahiko doesn't give me a single glance all throughout class. In fact, he's completely silent, speaking only when the teacher calls on him, and his answers are correct. It's enough to startle the entire class. On any other day, they'd probably gossip about it. Today, though, there's obviously more important things to discuss. Classes proceed as usual, but no one seems to be paying attention. Even the teachers are out of it. Lectures are barely coherent. Lunch break arrives. I'm ready to speak to Yahiko, but a sudden, cold voice interrupts me. Hey, you! I turn around apathetically. A stocky boy is standing before me, fists clenched. Oh, isn't this the guy who was talking with Yahiko this morning? And you are... Harubunya. No, let's see. Whatever. Harubunya. Never heard of you. Try to walk past him, but he refuses to move. I'm a friend of Shoji. Stop cold at that. I was there when you said those words to him. What do you want me to do? Apologize? That'd be a good place to start, yeah. Guilt and anger intertwine in the pit of my stomach. We didn't know she was dead then. You mocked him for worrying while she was being murdered. Have you seen the average high school Have you seen them? How can you be their judge without knowing anything about them? Is that any excuse to pick on Rui or Ari? What about spreading fake rumors? Look, you're not the only one at fault. But would you be saying the same thing if you found the girl that you loved was murdered in cold blood? The words hit harder because, yes, I've thought of them myself. I'm sorry. Don't say that to me. Without warning, he grabs my school tablet straight out of my hands. Too stunned to even try to stop him. He then taps something on the notes section. 10 digits, bold and clean cut on the screen. Phone number. Say that to him. He hands me back my tablet before striding out of the classroom, leaving me shaken. I immediately headed to the rooftop to get some fresh air. Haru's words echo and re-echo in my skull with every step. Your fault. She's dead. Too late. It was not my fault. I shoved them out as I burst through the door. I nearly rushed into a face full of plants in my haste. The sunlight angrily cuts into my eyes as I slump on the nearest bench, breathing deeply through my nose. Just need some rest, some silence, some thwump. Eek, watch out! I jerk upright as a giant monster of fluffy fabric plummets through the air, pelting the space. Pelting the space where my head was just moments ago. Suddenly, a very large, warm weight plops squarely on my lap, and I feel a tickle of velvety hair against my cheek. Wait, see that again? In the space of 10 seconds, it required... I jerk upright as a giant monster of fluffy fabric plummets through the air, pelting the space where my head was just moments ago. Suddenly, a very large, warm weight plops squarely on my lap, and I feel a tickle of velvety hair against my cheek. In the space of 10 seconds, I've somehow acquired an Akira Karube sitting on the edge of my knees. Hands braced against my shoulders, nose just an inch away from mine. I don't even have time to be embarrassed. As quickly as she fell on me, Akira jumps away, flushing a brilliant red. I'm sorry, Yama. I didn't mean... A response tumbles out of my mouth before I have time to think. What? It's fine. But it's so... No, it's fine, really. Akira buries her face in her hands, thoroughly mortified. I seize the moment to glance around, trying to figure out just what happened. The fabric beside me seems to be a pile of costumes. Silks and satins and rich colors, meticulously embroidery, and white lace are just some of the materials that catch my eye. It's an enormous pile. I can't believe she was trying to carry it all by herself. Are these for drama club? Yep. We're having a dress rehearsal for an impromptu show after school. You should come. Come and give your undying support to Rui. Never seen her in such a strange mood before. Akira may be Akira, but something seems to be bothering her. Intensely. Maybe I should ask her about it? Of course ask her. Don't be a big old dummy. God damn it. Hey, is everything okay? Of course. Everything's greater than gravy, righter than rain, peachier than the peachiest peach poacher who possibly poached a plethora of peaches. Yeah, something's definitely suspicious. It almost feels like she's trying too hard. Are you sure? My, you've gotten quite observant, haven't you? She shuffles backwards, clasping her hands together. The truth is, I'm nervous. Relax. That was anticlimactic. Nervous for... Isamu is about to explode in 30 seconds if I can't disarm the bomb in time. Then why are you wasting time around here? Oh, Admiral, you have no sense of humor. On the contrary, you should have played along. Her shoulders loosen from the prior tension as she releases a tiny giggle. You strike a fair point. Very well, I admit it. I, Akira Karube, veteran of the drama club, am nervous for a little impromptu performance. I like her name. It's fun to say. Akira Karube. Akira Karube. No, I won't remember it, because I can't remember things. Oh, the shame, the dishonor, the... Isn't it just your second year in the drama club? Huh? Anyone would get stage fright. Even lifelong actors get stage fright. All you can do is practice. Practice? Why, I dare say that's a great idea. Yeah, of course it is. So, wanna be my partner? Wait, what? This is probably the last thing I'm in the mood for. No. But, I didn't even tell you what to do. What do you need me to do? You just need to stand there like a candle on a stick. No. Admiral Meanie Head. Just ask Rui. I should. That was an unusual response. You don't want to? It's not a question of wanting to. Then what's the question? On the contrary, what's the answer? What? Question doesn't matter, so long as you have the answer. You can find the answer if you have the right question. You can also find the question if you have the right answer. Purple. Huh? gave you an answer. What's the question? Oh ho, you are a sneaky one, Admiral Meanie Head. See, I've underestimated you. Can't help but chuckle at that. So, will you help a comrade in need? I want to say yes, but I decided to play around a little more. Maybe. There is no middle ground. Choose this day which side you take. I recommend you choose wisely. Her eyes look cool in this. I don't know, maybe it's just this combination of that eye tone and facial expression, but her eyes look like real deep jade, I guess. Then no. Huh? Please? Fine. Really? Yes. I don't trust you. I said fine. Any man who's so quick to change his mind should not be trusted. I don't blame her. Something about being around Akira makes me whimsical. Maybe she's rubbing off on me. Regardlessly, I slap my hand on my chest and bow in salute. What? I slap my hand on my chest in salute and bow. She got skinny little legs. I swear, I'll be your practice partner for this lunch period. Satisfied? Swear upon the grave of protein shakes and molasses, and we shall have a deal. Protein shakes. No, I shouldn't even be surprised at this point. I solemnly swear upon this grave of protein and molasses. Protein shakes. Protein shakes and molasses. Then I'll be your practice partner for this lunch period. I accept this oath and bind it to... You know, time's running out. If we're gonna practice, we should just do it now. Huh. Party pooper. Akira clears her throat and steps away, closing her eyes. Despite myself, I feel a rush of excitement. It's just like when Rui and I played make-believe. Akira suddenly whips around, flinging an arm towards me, her entire posture thrumming with power. I see you have finally arrived, sacred star flame. Truly, it is perfect timing. You get a front row seat to the mass zombification of your people. Sacred star flame? What kind of character would that be? Not today, Shadow Bell. I shall purify your soul, and then purify the planet. You shall see. First, you must proceed through me. O spirit of the cosmos, bond with the summons of the abyss and heed my call. Expatriate this world. Oh, I said it wrong last time. Expatriate this world. Akira lunges for the pile of fabric on the bench, withdrawing a long, narrow paintbrush out of nowhere. What kind of practice is this? Activate Orion Microcell Abolishment Prototype 14. She twirls the paintbrush with expert precision in her hand and jabs it at me. Am I supposed to follow through with this? I glance around for something to match her paintbrush. I find nothing other than a hand shovel. I pick it up with two hands, making as if it's heavy. I thought she said all I had to do was be a candle. Angels of light and flyers of freedom, bestow me with your blessing and don me with the fitting arms to combat your mortal enemy. Light Spear Initiative! I swivel the shovel around my head, weighing it like some kind of giant halberd. She seems to understand. You're stronger than I anticipated. It appears that just one blow from your cursed weapon shall wipe me from existence. Of course, you'll have to hit me first. She dashes in, jabbing the paintbrush at my side. I fling myself away, swinging my shovel towards her, but she nimbly drops to the ground. I take a second for recovery, which she seizes to land a solid poke on my shin. Ow! I'll bite your kneecaps. She pulls away. I swing the halberd straight for her skull, but she leaps with cat-like grace, thrusting her rapier straight to my heart. I immediately parry the tip of my hilt, driving the edge towards her, but she easily disengages. Truly, your name as a being of power is justified, sacred Starflame. As is your name of being of corruption, Shadow Bell. I'll take that as a compliment. She stabs again. This time I'm ready. I catch the rapier and twist it, sending it spiraling out of her grasp. Ah! Give up, Shadow Bell. Justice demands retribution. Well, that's unfortunate, because it sure won't be getting any. She backflips upon the nearest bench. Absently, I'm impressed at her agility. Me too. And raises a hand to the sky. Power of the sea and stretch of the sky, intertwined to form intertwined a formless void and enrich this humble vessel with the glory of your eternal wrath. Could this be a finishing blow? I sign you unto the crimson deaths of craven oaths and relieve you of your ancient constraints. Millennial acre crescent destruction. She flips to the ground and lands in a somersault, crashing her fist to the ground. I fly back, crumpling against the nearest tree. She recovers her rapier, pointing it at my throat. Any last words? I tighten my grip on my halberd, willing all strength to my arms. Not yet. I slam my foot against the hilt of the rapier, turning it to the side as I roll away. As she stumbles for balance, I swing my halberd clean at her neck. She barely dodges in time. Clever trick. I'll be sure to relate that to the High Order. Oh, I tire of your paltry existence. You're like an incessant, irritating insect that means nothing to me. You're dirt beneath my shoe, a pebble in my ocean, a speck of dust on... I swing my halberd at her and chop her head off. Ah, Admiral Meanie Head. Yes? You interrupted me. I was subverting expected dramaticism. If we had an audience, they probably would have laughed. But overly long monologues are the best part of being a villain. I break into laughter as I return the shovel to its rightful place. Maybe so, but they're useless. The villain's leaving himself vulnerable for way longer than he should. Akira fixes her eyes on me for a moment, a small, affectionate smile curling at her lips. Yeah, I guess you're right. Her light giggle emphasizes the flush in her cheeks. I realize the heaviness in my mind has completely dissipated. Hey, Akira, thanks. What for? For the fun. It was crazy, of course, but I had fun. Well, I'm glad. She suddenly wraps her arms around her body, looking intensely vulnerable. Oh no. What? I shouldn't have. Suddenly she scoops up this pile of fabric and races to the door. Is that the bell? Why, I do declare that's the bell. Goodbye, Admiral. Without another word, she kicks open the door and races down the stairs. Slams behind her, leaving me alone on the rooftop. I head back to my class in total bewilderment. Why does Akira have to operate without rhyme or reason? She was completely fine up until the very end. Then out of the blue she just snapped. Either way, I did have fun. Akira's antics really cleared my mind. Just wonder why she's acting so strange. Make it to my seat right as the bell rings, hailing another person of gossip-ridden classes. Oh, hailing another period of gossip-ridden classes. Surprisingly, the PA clicks on and a special video announcement by the principal is streamed to our whiteboard. Good afternoon, students. As you are well aware, we have found ourselves in a most tragic and bewildering turn of events. We request that throughout the following circumstances you remain calm. Rest assured that, above all else, the Academy prioritizes your safety. The first matter, we emphatically request that you refrain from any communications with the media. Our faculty and partners are diligently working to solve the matter at hand and will deal with any questions aimed their way. Secondly, classes will continue as scheduled. Please do not neglect your studies. Special security is employed to keep you safe. Thirdly, in order to best ensure your security, curfew has been moved from 11:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. Please consider this timekeeping when making your plans. Try to refrain from being out of the school when alone. I expected groans from the student body, but there are none. People must really be scared. What I find interesting is the implementation of a harsher curfew when all the disappearances have been taking place inside campus after curfew. Maybe they're just trying to hide the truth? Man, this music's getting really dire. I was just joking with the principal voice, but please keep the security measure in mind as you plan your day. In accommodation, the dormitory recreation rooms, exercise rooms, and practice rooms will be open for 24 hours. Off-campus students are strongly advised to adhere to a similar guideline. Thank you for your patience. Video shuts off, leaving the classroom in silence. Our teacher rises to the front of the room, visibly shaken. Well, that was very informative. Let's continue. Glance over at Yahiko. His face is completely blank, but I see the knuckles turning white against his desk. Why? Fortunately, right as I attempt to start a conversation, the teacher calls on me. Ba-doop-a-doop-a-doop. By the time I remember my original intention, school's already ended. Yahiko bolts from his seat immediately after dismissal, barely sparing me a second glance. Even Elizabeth splits from her groupies before I can catch her. I spend a few moments, still and silent in my chair, alone, completely alone. Oh no, this bitch. Natsuki. Have you seen Beth? Oh, her eyes are green in school. I jerk upright and come face to face with Natsuki Tanaka. She's smiling, standing upright in her pristine, neatly ironed academy uniform. Her eyes bright and clean, and nothing like the girl I met the previous night. I feel a curdle of disgust in the pit of my stomach. Disgust and, if I'm honest with myself, a tinge of fear. You just missed her, but you probably already knew that. And if I did, then I assume that you wanted to talk to me. Why would I want to do that? You're the one with all the answers. She giggles slightly behind her hand. Get the sickening feeling that she's enjoying this. If perchance you see Beth, do give her my regards. Oh man, I didn't make this connection when I did this the first time, but is Elizabeth gonna be the next murder victim? don't you tell her yourself? I wonder. She turns on her heel and drifts away without another word. I clench my hands against the desk, fighting to keep my anger down. She's aggravating. She's insane. She's undefeatable. I roughly grab my backpack and exit the school, looking to clear my head. Again. I idly wander into the streets, feeling the acute pang of loneliness for the first time in a long, long time. And this is roughly about where things went screwy for the recording, so I'm gonna cut it here, and then we'll start the next one, and it'll be new for me. Peace!